I'm in the entertainment business. You know, I'm no hater of Jews. When a guy like me is saying this, just know there's a lot more people feeling it. So that's kind of what I'm here for. I'm here to say the uncomfortable things that people are thinking. And the people that are going to be caught in the crossfire, of course, are Jews, because people are going to start getting really, really pissed off. Now, let's get to, and let me tell you this. It's not Jews. This is why I try to explain this to people, because it would be tragic if people start treating Jews like the lobbyists that are subverting our entire way of life, because it's not them. It's if you want to really know who rules us, look, it's the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, Carnegie's trusts. It's a lot of them are the oligarchs. I just watched this great documentary on it, and what I wanted to talk about was eugenics. Darwin started a lot of this shit. Charles Darwin was a piece of shit, and I mean shit. God, it was terrible. Israelis are not the same as Jews. Yeah, but I'm also tight with a lot of Israelis. Some of the best people I've ever known are Israelis. That's what I'm saying. It's not the citizens. It's this small group of people profiting on this and our inability to stand up for what we need. A lot of it is the cucking of America. A lot of it is on our own shoulders. Because can you blame Israel for having their big brother America to stick up for them against certain countries and help them build walls and stuff? No, that's what they will do. That's what any country would do in that position. We are being absolutely driven like cattle by the people that rule us. And I opened this with a question. Eugenics has a new name. What is it? And the new name is environmentalism. Now, eugenics, for a long time, there was a big push by the Nazis and the American Nazis. The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds are international, and Carnegie's and a lot of the skull and bone people and a lot of these old families. And what they would do is they would snip the balls or kill people that they thought shouldn't breed, that they shouldn't have those genes in the gene pool. And it's not up to you to decide who gets to breed. It's up to God, right? Right? Isn't that right? But when you're a Satanist, when you're your own God, and that happens to a lot of these, the Vanderbilts, it's mostly not Jews. Except on TV, when you're dealing with lobbyists and publishers and media, it's like the Jews are in a really bad spot because they don't have nearly the power that they appear to have. And a small group of them is really, really, really doing some bad stuff. So anyway, I support Israel and the Jewish people's right to exist, just like I support America's right to remain white. But the Jews will genocide us if we don't kick them out. Love you, Owen. Wish you and your family the best. It's not the Jews. It's like the Georgia Guidestones or whatever. Those aren't made by Jews. Let me tell you about the Rockefeller Trust. When you're dealing with people that make trillions of dollars, and Rockefeller at one point was worth $1 trillion. The biggest cash cow in the world is energy. That's why there's a fake global warming hoax, so that people give up their ability to warm themselves and fuel their own cars. There's a reason I'm starting to farm on my property, because I want the energy that fuels me and my family to come from our land, because war is coming without question. Whether it's next week or in 20 years, I'm not exactly sure, but there is no way out of, at this point. And I've never said that in my life, except for the past few weeks. I've tried to be a perpetual optimist. In high school, I was voted class carefree. So I'm not exactly a glass half empty guy, but it's coming. It's coming in a big way. So these people get an unbelievable amount of wealth. And once you get to a certain level of wealth doesn't matter. What you want is control. And Rockefeller's father is named Bill William Rockefeller, and they used to call him Devil Bill, because he used to literally be a snake oil salesman, literally. And so Devil Bill taught Rockefeller how to be a wizard. and be a salesman and do all that shit and acquire as much power and wealth as humanly possible. So he acquired all this and he set it up into a trust so his family can literally rule the world without being elected for the rest of our days. And so their plan is to get rid of billions of people. So how do they do it? So the eugenics program got a bad brand with Mean Mr. Mustache Adolf Hitler. So Adolf Hitler was trying to kill the gypsies and the homosexuals and the Jews and the Catholics and the gimps and the people that weren't fired up about his mustache. And it got a real bad rap at that point. And so what they did, there was a guy named Maurice Strong out of Canada, and he was one of the guys that was taken in by the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and the Rothschilds, and they sent him to Nairobi and they sent him all over the place to develop a new brand, and that brand is environmentalism. So what they do now is they go to Africa and they say they're saving animals and saving land, and they just kick off all the native people who die. And what they're doing now in America is they're pushing this whole thing that if you have more than one child, you're being selfish. And with vaccines and with, the things they put in food and the things they put in our water, the way they justify it to themselves and the way they branded it is that human beings are a cancer on the planet. When in reality, you could fit all the people in the world into the state of Texas. We're not even that populated. And humans have been, since this eugenics program started with Darwin and those guys back in the 1800s, humans have figured out how to make farming 100 times more efficient. We figured out how to live cleaner lives. And, the old fossil fuel was horse shit, right? You guys know that, right? It wasn't. You know that the combustion engine was the green energy to horse shit. Horse shit would be all over the streets. And as soon as someone figured out how to burn oil to make a car move, that was seen as green energy because the horse manure everywhere was literally killing people. And so now we come up with these fake hoaxes like acid rain or silent spring. The pesticides you use are going to get rid of all the birds. Silent Spring, the 1960s book, none of it ever happened. Every spring has been pretty fucking noisy, especially on my land because we have 2 roosters. One of them just got pretty fucked up though, but that's another story. Acid rain, global cooling, then global warming, the food pyramid, you get it. It's all nonsense. And so now it's this whole global warming thing, and it's climate change is going to ruin the world. It's the Chuck Schumer and who's the other Jew out of Vermont? Bernie Sanders. They say that this is the biggest threat we face in the world is non-existent climate change. Why? So that humans kill themselves. And I'm not kidding. Eugenics is now disguised as environmentalism. They call them watermelons, green on the outside, red on the inside. And the Rockefellers created World Wildlife Federation and all these alphabet soups. I remember as a kid, we used to have a World Wildlife Federation sticker on our door, and there was a panda. And I used to pretend it was WWF wrestling because I thought even back then that was pretty fucking gay. But they create a culture of self-hatred. And that's the modern eugenics, and it's killing hundreds of millions of people already. And they're also creating human no-go zones. They're prepping for Agenda 21, which is now 2030, where the world will be broken up into giant districts. It's right out of the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is pre-programming for this upcoming thing. So, and a lot of you guys would have thought I was crazy 6 months ago, and you're still listening. You're still tuning in because the more time goes on and the more that you see American Psychiatric Association, this just came out, guys. Look at this. Traditional masculinity deemed harmful could lead to sexual harassment, medical group says. The main thrust of the subsequent research is that traditional masculinity, marked by stoicism, competitiveness, dominance, and aggression, is on the whole harmful. That's the American Psychological Association. That isn't random. That's quoted So when someone goes, oh, it's Fox News, that's a quote from the American Psychological Association that being male is harmful. Why? Because smaller populations of people that want a lot of power know they have to subvert masculinity before they take over. When I say small, I literally mean height. Jews and Joe Rogan. And I'm just kidding about the Jews on this one. This is a big picture thing. And things are getting so insane that at this point, you know I'm not crazy. At this point, you're listening. Whereas 6 months ago, you wouldn't have been listening. I couldn't have talked about these issues. I could have danced around it. I could have made fun of David Hogg. I could have made fun of stuff and been like, really? Really? Are you kidding me? But now you want to know what we can do to get around it, how you survive. And that's what I've been talking about for the last few weeks, because it's getting to the point where we all know it's broken beyond belief. And listening to the Ben Shapiro's of the world just ain't cutting it these days. Huh? Am I right? Where you listen to Ben Shapiro go, I mean, good Trump, bad Trump. Bad Trump, good Trump, bad Trump. I mean, good Trump, bad Trump. We should go to Syria. Shut the fuck up, Ben. Our world is collapsing. We're 22 trillion in debt. We have 6 trillion missing dollars. There's a war on masculinity. I have 2 sons, 2 little sons. I brought them to music class today. We did like all these fun things, and we did a parachute. And my son loves monster trucks, and the other one, Charlie, is learning how to go, and he smiles all the time, and he thinks my beard's hilarious. And so the war on masculinity hits me very, very close, because I'm a giant, and I have 2 sons, and I have a brother that I love as much as anybody in the whole world. And I'm not going to let people talk this way about my people. And when men take it, you know, whether it's the soy or the fluoride or the opioids or the free porn or the video games, whatever is making you people take it and just be scared of being kicked off social media. It's insane to witness. And I, by not changing, have become kind of a masculine figure in our culture. You know, when someone says my name, people, I've heard this from many sources, they would be like, oh, that guy's like, you know, he's just in the woods chopping wood, just a fucking madman. You know, and this is how men were. I just haven't changed. When I played football in high school, I would be the kid on the bus that sometimes the more masculine kids would sit with on the way to games and talk to about shit. You know, it's like, yo, Owen, you're the type of dude that like looks up at the stars and stuff, right? Yo, I've been thinking about like what it would be like to be like on a star. I was the guy that had the compassionate ear. I was a piano player. You know, my mom had a loom for me and we would make cloth. You know, I was not exactly Wolverine, but just by not changing and being consistent, watching the entire world fall off this effeminate cliff of soy and just ballless shit, I now appear to be this like crazy mess because I'm married with kids and I don't sit around in my mom's basement whacking off and eating soy. I'm now seen as this like this outlaw. It's if it wasn't so tragic, it would be hilarious. All right, so Smelly Underwear Bear made this. This is awesome. By the way, hugepianist.com. That's where you can get my specials. I'm never going to be on Netflix. I've had 2 Comedy Central specials until they said that saying that men and women are different is a hate crime. Do you know that saying illegal immigrants is now considered hate speech and you can get kicked off Facebook for that? And these people just take it. They just take it. They go, oh, we can't say that now. We're going to get in trouble. Do you guys want to become Canada? Do you want to become Sweden? The way to do it is to give up your rights. See, the devil is he does mimicries. He mocks. He's a mimic. With illusions and mimicry and holograms, the devil makes you give up your own shit through mind control. The devil has no real power in this world, you know, and it's pretty crazy.